In this video, I'm going to walk you through the project onboarding process. So basically, this process is triggered whenever a project is won, either a gap analysis, a project coming from a gap analysis, or directly a project that has either been estimated in advance without a gap analysis, or when the client has accepted the hourly package methodology. In either of these cases, two things need to happen in parallel. The bookkeeper needs to initiate the project in Odoo. She will need to confirm the sales order. Once the sales order is confirmed, a project will be created due to the product type that we have used in the sales order and how it is configured. An analytical account will also be created. The bookkeeper would need to rename the analytical account. And whenever the payment is received, she will need to register the payment to make sure that we are uh, ready to trigger the project. In parallel to that, we need to do some project-related tasks. The COO, the Chief Operations Officer, will assign a project manager to the project. To do this, he will take into consideration the nature of the project, the PM's availability, the PM's performance, the language, of course, the location, the time zone, all taking into consideration all these aspects, the COO will assign a project manager. Once the project manager accepts his role as a project manager, he will need to do two things. First, understand the project and the client. He will need to review all the documentation that we have in the Confluence page, the proposal, of course, as well, and any recording that we have with the client of meetings that we had with the client. But in parallel, they will also need to send them the project charter document. In this document, we get to know a little bit more the client, the objective of the client, who we are going to deal with, who will be the project sponsor, who will be the main point of contact, all that information that is collected in advance in the project charter. Once we have that information, we're going to update the project dashboard. On the other path, once we have a complete understanding of the project and the client, the project manager will create a project summary video just to make sure that we make sure that the project manager understood what the project is all about. This video will be reviewed and approved by the COO. And with this video, the idea is that the project manager starts forming the project team. He will need to assign a product owner, a backup product owner, perhaps a developer if the project requires a development, a QA, and other functional people that might be specific for that project. Once the project is formed, once the project team is formed, they will also need to review the project Confluence pages and also the project video that he has created. The VA needs to perform some project initiation tasks. Once the project team is all onboarded in the project, the project manager will ask the VA to schedule a kickoff internal meeting. In this meeting, we will review the project. We will make sure that we are all in the same page and that we understand the main objectives, the constraints, the risks, to make sure that the project is successfully delivered. Once the project team is created, is formed, the bookkeeper will also update the purchase orders in Odoo. They need to make sure that a purchase order line is added for every member that is going to be part of the project. Once the internal meeting is performed, the the project manager will have the BA schedule an external kickoff meeting. Before doing this, we need to make sure that the payment has been received. That is why we only perform the internal kickoff meeting, and we only schedule the kickoff meeting when we get confirmation that the payment has been received. And once the kickoff meeting occurs, we can consider the project to be initiated or onboarded. One more thing to say is that during the external kickoff meeting, the project manager should use the template agenda that we have. They should adapt it, of course, to the specific needs of the client, but the project manager should present the team, the methodology, how we expect them to use Slack, how we expect them to use Confluence, how we are going to use internally Jira, how they are going to receive a weekly weekly progress report. So all that needs to happen in the external kickoff meeting. And again, once that external kickoff meeting has happened, we can consider the project onboarded and we can move on to the next project in line, that is the project execution process.